Welcome to Inn by the Falls in Niagara Falls. Our room was 121 to begin with a big round size bed. And now we've moved on to room 118. Today's August 28th, 1978. This is a view of our pool, I think. It's a heated pool, which we haven't gotten into yet. Rich is now showing you the 3 levels of rooms. They're so pretty with all the flowers. Further view of all of the levels of the rooms. Thank God we're on level 1. There are some more outside rooms and the gift shop. Hi.
Hi, Janet.
Hi, Richard.
This is our fantastic pool. No diving board, but it's about 4 or 5 feet deep. And I'm not quite sure of the shape, but it's probably a semi-kidney. It's probably a gallbladder shape. And we're going to swim later.
9% of all the water in the river. Now, I am pretty well sure that everyone here has heard of the daredevils of Niagara Falls. Now, that is the people that have gone over the falls in barrels and things like that. Well, overall, they're daredevil at all. This was an accident. It was a 7-year-old boy named Roger Woodward who went over the falls wearing nothing but his life jacket and lived. I'll be explaining this story a little bit better a little later on in the tour.
Here we are going on our way to the Horseshoe Falls, Niagara Falls, Canada. Well, we'll see all the water flowing over into the gorge.
Look at all that water. Must be pretty at night. Because it's pretty in the day. Panasonic Tower car coming down. Exactly 2:43. The top of the Skyline Tower. There's a view from the Skyline Tower. You can see Niagara Falls in the background. The view of the Horseshoe Caniadian Falls. Maid of the Mist is just about leaving it. Very windy up here. I can't see ahead of me. You're gonna bump into somebody.
The Horseshoe Falls are down below there. They seem to be blowing away. Oh, falls. You see that, Janice? Horseshoe Falls, Table Rock.
Skyline Tower, revolving dining room, a view.
Where are you?
We're coming here later on this evening for dinner.
Is Jimmy there? gonna try to drive that bus, huh?
The American shore. Therefore, if it wasn't for that platform, it would be pretty well impossible to get a good look at both American and Canadian Falls. To Oaks Garden Amphitheater. Garden Theater, right in there. There's some beautiful work in there, and all of the work in there is also done by the students of the School of Horticulture.
Where is it? I'm at the Great Gorge in that Niagara Falls, overlooking the rapids. Many people have lost their lives on this part of the gorge. This bridge is one of the largest arched bridges in the world. This is my dolly dump. This is the Great Gorge trip we did not take, and we'll try to take again tomorrow or some other day. I have to get out of here. I think this was illegal. I'm not too sure, but there was a big drop over there. If I had fell in, that would have been the end of me.
This is the Great Gorge Aero Car.
The whirlpool.
Are we really going to go on this, Richard?
I'm afraid so. I'm afraid so. Here it comes. Come aboard.
We're really going.
Passengers along the sides of the car now remain seated for the crossing. You'll be switching sides at the far bank. We just left an elevation of 270 feet and 1,800 feet apart, and the car arrives on 6 1-inch diameter steel cables. One cable alone can hold 6 times the weight of a fully loaded car. If you're looking out to the right-hand side of the car now and straight up the river, you'll see the upper whirlpool rapids. Here the water flows about 27 to 35 miles an hour, and the water's about 40 to 60 feet deep, and there's 45 million gallons of water coming into Jamaica, Ontario. If you're miles an hour, the car will not be stopping here. It will just take us a couple seconds to change our direction, and then we'll be heading back. And for the return trip, the seated passengers will be switching sides. Seated passengers may now stand and switch sides by walking around to your right and have a seat on the opposite side now for the return trip along the side.
What is this? I never seen anything like this before in my life. Bring it around.
I think I'd make it. Another pretty waterfall.
Those things get in the way in.
Well, here I am, the Daredevil. We're coming back to the Canadian side, from the Canadian side, on this trip across the Great Gorge, where the whirlpools stay.
The end of our Whirlpool Rapids Great Gorge trip, thank God. Safe and sound almost.
Here we come in.
Hooray! Red light. It's on its way, the Aero Car, over the Great Gorge, Whirlpool Rapids, over to the New York side. perfect safety record, we're told.
Let's go, Rich. Go on the bus.
Okay. This clock is dedicated to all the crippled children in Canada. The hands, the minute and second hand, are shaped like crutches for the dedication of it. The face of the clock has changed every year. We are entering the Great Gorge to the tunnel. The end of the tunnel, here we go. The Great Devils. One of the Whirlpool Rapids boats. On the boardwalk, not exactly Atlantic City. Janice, she's gonna shoot the rapids. Well, how do you like this great gorge? I think the water's trying to run out somewhere. It all seems to be going downhill. I don't know where it's going, but I think it'll go into a whirlpool and a little further down. And because it has to make a 90-degree turn, and it's a little bit too much for the water to take.
Those waves are certainly high.
My God.
Captain Webb.
That's the actual sound. Hi, Janice!
Here's my Richard, my daredevil in a barrel. Bye, Richard. Going over to the Great Gorge. Richard?
Hi, Janice. Here we are at Toronto. They have the little trolley cars here. Today is August 29th, 1978. And no, those aren't fake rails. Those rails are actually being used by trolley cars in Toronto. They also have electric buses. See the needle from the background. We will be there in a short while on our tour through Toronto, Canada. Interesting trolleys in Toronto.
We're on Broadview Avenue now, waiting for some trolley cars to go by. Here comes one now, I hope.
Don't believe it. Hang on, I got a teleporter. Getting closer. On our way to the tower.
like to welcome all of you to CN Tower. And now we are traveling up at the speed of 20 feet per second, that is 1,200 feet per minute. Observation that you could purchase your tickets at the left hand.
So this is the top of Toronto. We're now seeing a view from the top of the tower in Toronto, Canada. A scene of our car in the center of the parking lot.
Outside the tower. Going to the Maid of the Mist today.
We're going down to the Maid of the Mist boat right now on the cable car.
Going to be our boat. Hi, Dad.
Background, you can see the New York Niagara Falls. Just to the right, the little falls is called the Bridal Veil. Now you can see the Canadian Falls, which are known as the Horseshoe Falls. All those life preservers, do you think we'll need them?
I hope not.
Board the Maid of the Mist boat.
Stick your head out.
We are now passing the American Falls. This falls is 167 feet high, the contour line of 1,075 feet. Some of the beauty of this falls was marred by a huge rock slide near its center in January 1931 and at Prospect Point in July 1954.
The trip's over.
It's wet.
Line of 2,100 feet. Along the water that flows down the Niagara River, 94% flows over this great fall. Here, daredevils made their bids for fame in falls and other contrivances. To the extreme west of the Horseshoe Falls is Caniadian Point, through which passes the international boundary line between Canada and the United States.
Janice, how you doing?
I don't know. The Horseshoe Falls are pretty.
A little wet.
In the winter, you catch pneumonia. Home at last from Niagara Falls on a little vacation. August 31st, 1978. Back to Hillside Lake to pick up Audrey-Ann. Audrey-Ann! Audrey-Ann!